and ended the live. I really apologize for that. So I glue and then tape it. I use clear packaging tape. It just helps to hold it in place while you're creating the form around on the rest of the object that you're trying to make, and it really holds it secure in place while it dries. So, but yeah, I was saying before in a previous live, Wendy, I know why you tape. I highly recommend you tape. Everyone, you know, I suggest you tape as you're going along with this project. All right, I got a hands up. I wonder if anybody knows that my chat came in here. Yay, I got one person. Maria, is that you? Are you back? Accidentally into the chat. Let's see what that is. There you are, sweetie. I'm so glad you're back. I'm so sorry. I don't know how I pushed the button in the chat, but I did it. Okay, I was talking about as we're hot gluing the sides, onto onto this bottom part here, that glue a little and tape, glue a little and tape, so the tape holds it while it cools and sets. If you don't do that, because you're bending so much and everything else, if the glue is not set what you did previously, it'll pull off of the form, and you don't want that. So let's get started. So I was showing off the corduroy, and I'm going to set this aside just because I don't want to. I'm limited in space here, workspace. And I'm so happy. I feel like I'm a kid in a candy store. Woo, this is good stuff. All right. So what I'm going to do, because all of this is going to be done in the same material, is I'm going to be doing just a little bit on the bottom. I'm going to be going up on the sides and a little bit on the inside of the box, because it gives it that clean look, that clean finishing touches of it. Now, if I were mixing, materials and doing different stuff, then I would be cutting smaller strips. So I'm just gonna kind of let's see here. How can I get to a good? This would be a good part to get to. Okay. All right. All right. So I'm just, lining things out. This is 6 yards. I am so ecstatic. Oh, 4 yards. 56 inches. Very cool. Also, on the labels of the fabric, it gives care instructions. It says machine wash cold with light colors, do not bleach, tumble, dry on low, because this happens to be 100% polyester. So it's something else we want to be mindful of. All right. I'm going to get my little ruler out here, and I'm just going to kind of eyeball what I need. Oh, you know what? Where'd the big one go? I lost the big one. Where did it go? It's like, look, the one that I really need. God, where did I put the big one? Okay, I need to get my ready. You know what? I think these would make a great giveaway. Thermal gloves or thermal thimbles. He was smiling and laughing. All right. These would make a really good gift, guys. Really great giveaway. Just some food for thought out there. All right. I found my ruler, and I'm going to be pre-measuring out and eyeballing a little bit of what I'm going to be needing. Okay, so I know that my sides are 4.5. So I'm going to be doing it at least 4.5, 5.5, 6.5. Let's see, about 7. When I come out here, and I want to do about 7 inch strips, because I'm going to be doing a little bit on the bottom, coming up over the sides, and then a little bit on the inside. All right, so let's go 7 on this. Right here, and I'm just going to be carefully cutting this along. And so because it's directional, because it's corduroy, we want to pay attention which way we're going with it. So I'm going to turn it this way because I wanted it to, what effect do I want on this? Yeah. What way do I want the stripes going? I think I want them going up and down. Or I want them going lengthwise. I want them going lengthwise. Let's see. Yeah, lengthwise for sure. Okay, so to get these lengthwise, let me double check it. All right. Okay, so I am going lengthwise with this. I just wanna here we go. Okay, so I'm going lengthwise, and right here like this. Okay. Okay, so let me see where we're at. We get to 7. 7 is perfect. I do not want to use a black marker on this. What else do I have that I can use as a... Oh, Lord. Okay, I can't do that. Okay, I'm just going to have to eyeball it. It'll be all right. Part of the fun in this is, it gives it that really neat glove looking effect when it, when it's got that little bit of that poof in it and that kind of a thing. So I'm just going to get this as close as I can. I'm not going to, lose my mind over any of it. So, okay, if there's a little bit over, they did a lousy job in cutting it. But, they too probably were just, doing the best they can, as I am. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my ruler, I'm just going to put it down and line it up to the edge of that 7-inch mark. And I'm going to eyeball it. And now I'm just going to try, cut, going this way and, use something as a, just use that as a guide, a look too. So, oh, you know what? I forgot. Okay. We're going to cut the strips first, and then we're going to do the polyfill. I want to get this squared away and get it like as much as where we need this to be. Okay. All right. Okay, so I'm going to put that at the edge at 7. Sharpen my shears. Here it is. All right. I love this little scissor sharpener. It works so good. These Teflon scissors, these titanium Teflon, I love them. They're extremely lightweight, and the tip, the sticky stuff does not stick to the blades. You can cut tape, you can do, everything and anything and not have to worry about that, the sticky stuff of the tape dumping up your scissors. Okay, so I'm getting to the fine porcelain, gonna sharpen them up really fine. I used to do a lot of quilting and I used to have some amazing tools. Like I could whip those out and have this done like in a couple seconds. But that would require me unpacking everything. I got to reorder all blades and that kind of thing, and I'm not doing that. So I'll take what we can get for right now. All right. Okay, so I can use this as a guide. I'm just gonna take the old label and use this as a straight edge or a guide, if you will. While I cut out these strips. And the strips, they do not have to be perfect. That's about this project. So I'm just going to be using this as a edge as best as I can while I gently cut the strips out to, build up and layer on our mitten. So, all right. And I do have it doubled. So, is it doubled or is it tripled? Okay, it's doubled. I just want to make sure. I have it doubled. So, oh, this isn't cutting. Let's see. All right. I need to get the heavy duty ones. All right. Mm-hmm. Okay. Darn it. All right. Alrighty here. Yeah, I really miss my cutting wheel. That thing was just the absolute best. This is pissing me off. I do have. Yeah, let's try these. Maybe this will work. I can't do this. I just sharpened a second pair and I can't get these to cut. Darn it. All right, let's just hope that this works. Oh, perfect. I'm impressed with these little crafting scissors. These two were the titanium blades, and they're not nonstick, but they're titanium, and they're 5-inch. And when I got them, I was like, oh crap, this isn't, what I thought this wasn't going to be what I thought it was. But I went ahead and tried them, and I love them a lot. They're good little handy dandies. Gotta be careful. Okay, so I'm going to come back up here, take my ruler, line this up as best as I can from 7 out, and there's my look ahead. All right, this is so much fun, you guys. I love a good project when it comes around. All right. That could be it with that. All right. Still at 7. Yeah, get my straight edges out and over. And okay, bringing this up. I should be able to cover all of that mitten with just this little bit. A little bit really does go a long way with stuff. All right, here is this one and this one. All right. So basically, here's 7-inch strips. It is doubled over. So what that means is I'll just be cutting strips off and then just, gluing them around the sides. So it's like, let's see, doggone it, there we go. So like this, and I just chose white, all white. So, we're putting the material on the mitten is what it is. So like that, I would just glue it all the way around. But I am going to be putting some polyfill in there on around there so that, we have that poofy mitten look and feel to it. All right. Oh. And I thought I would do the white corduroy. If there was a complementing color that I was going to add to this, it would have been red. Oh, that's just blunt stuff. Just red, and we could do that with ornaments. We could put a poinsettia flower, and there's so much we can do. So it's either going to be red or it was going to be gold. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and tuck this up like this. Oh, gee whiz. There we go. Okay, where does it want to go? All right, so here and here. I fold in thirds and I leave it in thirds. It's not as hard on the fabric, and it goes with the grain of it per se. So, all right. So I got that, and I'm going to set this aside. And next, okay, I'm going to be getting my mitten. I want to make sure my sides are corduroy. I have the right side showing. Okay, so this is the wrong side. The wrong side is the side that we're going to be gluing because I want the detailed side on the other one. So like this per se, if you guys can get an idea. See that? And we're just going to be doing this all around the sides. But here's the underside and here's the overside. And we're going to be just putting just a little bit of polyfill in here. Because what happens is when you start to get too poofy, it loses its shape or its form. Oh, thank you so much, Marie. I am having fun. I am having a lot of fun. You're such a sweetheart. I wish we lived closer together, and bring scraps and exchange scraps of fabrics and stuff like that. So, all right. Okay, so, cover it from on the bottom, and we're just going to be covering, a bit on the inside. One thing that I wanted to add is that, remember when I was telling you guys about staying on task and properly interpreting the social situation. Um, what that means is who am I creating for, right? And so because this is personal and this is family, I can put more in the budget. Um, if you don't have a whole lot to put into this, and you're wanting to sell this, you're wanting to move this. When Wendy did hers, she just did the sides, the strips of the material on the sides, and then she just put the cardboard backing on, and she made a suggestion. You can, cover it with contact paper. You can, leave it the way it is, that kind of thing. And then like basically same thing with the inside. She put her tissue paper in, she put her shred in, and then she filled the mitten. You can do whatever you want with this. If you want to cover the inside, the outside, all the way around, by all means, go for it. But if you're on a limited budget, the sides you could do. You could even do. You can do really whatever you want. But if you're wanting to keep costs down, you could put your material up and on the sides, like how Wendy had it. And then you can cover the back once you have your backing on with, packaging paper. It also give it like that crafty homemade kind of a feel to it. And then same thing with the inside. Hot glue some packaging paper on the inside, and then go ahead and add your shred. Add your shred and your tissue, your tissue paper, and your shred, and decorate however well you want it. So I just wanted to make that known. When she did hers, she did it in like she just put strips of fabric and around the sides and stuff, and she didn't cover the back, she didn't do the inside, she just went around the sides, and that is being very budget friendly, people. So either way, if you don't have a whole lot of money, you can't put a whole lot of money into it, it still makes it extremely durable. It's still a keepsake no matter what. That would be a suggestion. Oh, okay. And get some sleep. I work in the morning. Good night. Have a great shift tomorrow, Maria. I am so glad that you're able to come on. Thank you so much for your support, and I'm so glad that you won Queendom Baskets gift card. So I'm looking forward to seeing your stuff. I can't wait to see when you post. You have the sweetest dreams ever. I'm going to continue on with the live, and this is available anytime any of you want to view it or watch it. It's available to you. Like I said, this is like my vlog kind of a thing. But so you have a beautiful evening, sweetie, and sweet dreams. Mwah. All right. Okay, so this is set. We're going to pillow farm. I'm so glad I got these thimbles because now I can push more and everything else. Handle the fabric better. Ooh, these are very nice. These aren't bad. So yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead like this and this. And same thing with this one. I'll just keep these open and ready just in case. Please get my thumb like how this one is. All right. So because I got my thumb really good, I want to make sure that's covered. And I mean, I just got a hot glob and I went to grab it and my muscles spasmed and jerked and went right into my thumb, and oh my Lord. So, you know how like we have that instinct to go and grab stuff? This, you know, this is just an absolute must. So, there we go. All right. And this one. My nails have really grown a lot. That Bubs collagen, you know, and they're a lot more stronger. My hair, you know, is getting thicker. That's some really good stuff. All right. So I'm right now preparing to hot glue and pad the mitten. You know, I'll be padding it some, not too little and not too much, because when you start putting too much padding in, so you can pad like say out to here and then out to here, you're gonna lose this definition, this defined part in the mitten glove. So, oh. All right, it's 100. These things are 100% silicone, which is awesome. Okay. All right. I'm turning my glue gun on. And, oh, my back. All right. Try and fit these on better. Make sure they're on here good and snug. All right. Okay. I'm going to move my caddy over in a better area. I adore these mittens. These are like my thing. You know what I'm doing is I'm just buying them and passing them out to people because they're, you know, they're that user friendly, they're that much fun, and you know, that kind of a thing. You know, I suggest you download the templates, anything. They're a good project to do. Okay, I'm going to bring this over. I'm going to have this one. I'm just going to have some scissors just a little bit ready to handle the polyfill. All right, which is right here. Okay. All right. I love this polyfill. It's extra poofy, extra everythingy. All right. So while the hot glue gun is heating up, you know, it's still showing like one other person is here. Hello, one other person. All right. So the polyfill. All right. I'm going to be hot gluing polyfill on here. And I'm going to move Lazy Susan back up out of the way. All right, so I can handle this better as is. All right. Okay. Over here on this side, just to get an idea. I'm not going to be putting the polyfill on the bottom part of the mitten because I want to keep that surface as flat as I possibly can because I'm going to be featuring these up and down. And, you know, that's a must. If you get padding in here, it can make it wobbly. So just to ensure that I get a good firm surface, because I am going to be featuring them upright, you know, I'm not going to be putting any padding there. So, Curl this around. All right. Ooh, yeah, that did just fall. I can't have this falling off. Darn it. This stuff is lasting for a long time. It's made in the USA. It's polyfill joy with premium polyester fiber fill. It's by Fairfield. And it's made in the USA. It's 1 pound, 16 ounces. I put a lot in these bags. I love it. This bag has gotten me a long way so far. Someone else is in the chat. Hello, welcome. How are you? We're just doing the mitten tonight, the mitten last night, the form that I did. We are getting ready to cover it. And I'm going to be covering it in a white cream-like corduroy. Ooh, my battery's going low. I don't have a good connection. Okay. I can't have that. The whole point in this. Okay, there we go. It's back to charging again. I've just been having all kinds of charging complications with this phone. And it's been driving me nuts. Okay, well, let me undo. And undo. And my silicone finger just went flying. Great. All right. Whew. Okay. So now I can go something like this. Yeah, I gotcha. And okay. All right, I'm going to try and record as much as I can. My phone might go dead because I got bad charging happening right now. But we'll just try and do as much as we can. Where did the other one go? I just lost one of my thimbles. And I can't have that. Oh, gee whiz. Where did it go? All right. I can't wait to start filling these. You know, you can fill them with ornaments. You can fill them with goodies. You can fill them with all kinds of good stuff. All right. Let's see. Oh, well, darn it. All right. I'm just going to have to be extra careful because I was messing with the phone. I already lost a thimble. So these are one size all. So I'm just going to really have to take my time with this process because the thimbles are already popping off of my fingers. So, you know, I just got to be careful with them. And I'm going to get them on 3, 1 for each hand, I guess is the reasoning with this. All right. All right. Okay, so the hot glue is getting hot right now. And hot enough to start applying the fill. So let's get to doing that. All right. Where's my tape? All right, that works for me. I'm just going to grab just about, a handful and just a little bit more. And that should be enough to do this whole mitten. Okay, so it's not going to keep it right there. All right. They're not doing. So we're just going to be applying. Ooh, there we go. So we're just going to be, applying it like it's padding all the way around. Okay. All right. Whew. All right. Get my cardboard. I don't want to get the cardboard out right now. I have a piece of cardboard that I use. This is getting pretty gunky. And I'm just not in the mood. So I'm just, a little bit at a time going to apply the padding. And there's all kinds of stuff you could use this polyfill for. Usually, mostly it's used to fill pillows. So if you're crafty, and you do, make your own pillows and that kind of a thing, this is basically what that's used for. And this is going along really nice. So I'm going to put this back on the charge because I need this to be a little bit more. But you see how that's just barely padding that. So I'm going to be gluing the rest of the way around. And, this is so much fun. I love also, I always talk about, how I'm starting early, because I enjoy this. And I want to enjoy this. And I want to get things, done and have them brought along. I really, like this part. So everybody in my family is going to be getting a mitten with their stuff in it instead of making presents. And they get to have something a little bit different. You can keep stuff in it too. You can keep stationery in it. You can use it as a personal keepsake box of whatever, you want. You can take it. They can take it and put it as a decoration for the following year if they wish. All right. Okay, I'm gonna warm this up some more. And I need to get more glue. Alright, keep a couple of these glue sticks on hand. I was shocked when I went into Dollar Tree today and I didn't see any hot cocoa. I didn't see any cider. I didn't see any of the hot cocoa bombs. They did not have that stuff stocked in yet. So I hope they do it soon because I want to get these done and tidied up and ready. And the other thing is these on these shelves, once they're decorated, if you're going to, if your family lives elsewhere and you're physically going there to celebrate Christmas, you can keep them around your house, um, as an ambiance and as a decoration until you take it over, to wherever you're spending Christmas at. I've decorated early. I've wrapped presents early for that reason. All right, so here's, wow, these are just really not, I can't believe how these aren't staying on. My biggest complaint with these is that they're not staying on. All right. Okay, so, all right. Please, oh, I just passed another line. I don't know what to do. All right. Okay, I have to handle them gently. Yeah. So I'm just, covering the surface with glue and then coming around and, putting this on like this, stretching and pulling it apart. If you take a fork, 2 forks, and just kind of do this, it'll help, spread it out more. All right. Okay, so I've made direct contact with the glue, and the good thing is that it's not burning my fingers. Okay, I have some glue stuck to them. All right. Oh, this is gonna make me crazy. Where did I go? I'm gonna try and put some tape around them. This is just too dangerous to not have them stay on. Just trying. There we go. Just gently taping them to my fingers. Ooh, I got some of that cotton on my. All right. Perfect. So see, I'm just going to tape these on. And I hope it helps. So far, so good. Okay. All right.